What's up, guys? We're eating steak tonight. Got it right there. About to grill that up. Made about $5,000 in the market today and have a lot of fun stuff coming up. So I want to show you guys in tonight's video what I used to identify the setup that led to those profits for today and what I've got coming into tomorrow and kind of my game plan for the rest of the week. So let's dive into the charts and I'll see you guys there. All right, let's dive in, take a look at the chart, see what we got here. As you can see, I have my account open here. You can see daily P&L about $4,800 there. And the large majority of that coming from the QQQ 180 calls that expire this week. So my average price on those right now, you can see, is 68 cents there and up about $4,500 with that. Now, what I'm looking at here, I took an RTY trade this morning as well. I took a Dow trade that ended up being a loser, and then I accidentally bought some QQQ, which I did not intend to do. I actually wanted to buy the 180 calls, and I ended up buying 10 shares of the Qs instead. So if we take a look at the trade log here, you can see we'll bring this down, and what we're looking at here for the QQQs is at 9:17, I wanted to go ahead and buy 10 of those 180 calls, and instead I bought 10 shares of the QQQ. So I just went ahead and left those on. And then you can see here at 9:20, this is in Central Standard Time, I went ahead and bought 10. About 30 seconds later, I went ahead and bought 10 more for 2 cents higher, and then I went ahead and bought 5 more at 9:21. And then at 9:21.51, I was bidding to try and get 25 more, so I'd have 50 of them. Finally got filled on those. I had to bump it up to 69 cents there, which brings my average there to that 68 cents that you guys can see on the dashboard there. So why am I putting this position on in the Qs? Why did it move? You know, kind of what's happening and what's shaking there. And the real answer is Google. So if we go to Google and take a look at the extended session here, you can see Google is up about $40-some here in after hours trading because it had earnings today. Now, I played the QQQ calls because Google had a $56 expected move. Google is extremely bullish right now. The market's extremely bullish, and I had an opportunity to step in at what I thought was a very good price. Now, the setup that led me to go ahead and take this position, actually let me go back here to the NASDAQ on this chart, and kind of twofold answer. One, I've got my multi-time frame grid here that you guys have seen me use, and then the 4 grid here that I use as well. So I didn't enter this trade until right here, 10:20 Eastern, 9:20 Central Standard Time. So what actually led me to that trade? Well, the short answer is the divergence, right? I had levels here at 72.86. I had levels in the S&Ps way down here at 27.86 we didn't get to. I had levels at 28.12 there for the upside, which hit profit targets. And then on the NASDAQ, I had 73, 74, 75s, and then 74.09 75s as well. So, and then 17.05 70s and the Russell, which ended up trading to the tick there. And I was trying to get out right there at 17.05 60. And could not get filled. It did trade 17.0560, but did not fill me there. So I ended up trailing that back out right in here. And I'll show you that trade as well. So what ended up happening today? What led me to this trade? Well, at 9:50 this morning, we had a pullback in the broader markets here, and the Russell ended up setting up some signals. You can see these green arrows down here. So this is the MLT Divergence Indicator. And I'll put a link below this video as well for you guys if you would like to get more information about this indicator. But you know, it's the one that you see me use most often, and it's actually the only indicator that I do put on my charts, and my favorite because I'm the one that created it and worked with and got it coded. So at 9:50 this morning, we had a divergence set up in the Russell. And again, last week I was talking about the markets are bullish right now. We're going to have some down days where we get pullbacks in the markets like we did last week. Actually, here on Friday, you can see we kind of had a nice little run up here on Friday and then pulled back here and gapped lower this morning and then pulled back on the immediate open. So we're going to have those down days, but overall bullish on the markets, we've got movement to the upside, and I want to play these divergences when they set up. So at 950, we set that divergence in the Russell, and I'm like, okay, I got to start establishing some longs here. And that's when I went ahead and bought a little bit of the Dow. Now, I bought the Dow because it was holding morning lows here. So I was watching the S&Ps, I was watching the Dow and the Nasdaq, and I said, okay, the Dow looks to be the best. I'll go ahead and step into the Dow. It rallies, but it ultimately fails here going into 1030 there where we put in new lows, and that stopped me out. That's what shows as this $222 loss there on the Dow. Now, what caught my eye in the next 5 minutes here was at 9:55 in the Nasdaq, where you can see we actually did pierce on this tail this new low. So it's very minute right there. And if we drill into kind of a smaller time frame chart here, you can actually see a little bit clearer how that happened. So let me go ahead and maximize this sell, and I'll show you guys that. So right here you can see this was the previous low of the morning at 1450, and right here at 9:55 we end up breaking through that low and then immediately reversing. And when we immediately started reversing, that's when I said, okay, I got stopped out of the Dow a little bit later, but I was like, okay, I gotta find some longs in the Nasdaq. So that's what led to that 10:20 long decision, which was right here, 10:20 Eastern, 9:20 Central, right in through here where the Nasdaq was basing sideways at the opening print. So I went ahead and stepped in to some longs here at 10:20 on this green bar in the Nasdaq. At the same time, what I'm seeing right there is, okay, the Dow's pushing through morning lows, the Nasdaq is holding, and so is the S&P and the Russell. So I'm like, okay, that's picture perfect scenario for me. I go ahead and take a look at Google. I realize Google has earnings coming out this afternoon. Do I want to play this with futures, or do I want to put on some options and potentially hold them overnight and take advantage of this, what I expected to be a pop in Google? So that's what I went ahead and did. I stepped in and bought these QQQ 180 calls there, as I showed you guys the order tickets on those. And then I also ended up setting up some trades in the Russell here, and that was at 9:23. So just shortly after I got into the QQQs, about 2 minutes later, I stepped into the Russell there, bought 2 contracts at 94.30s, and sold one on a trail stop at 94.90s, and then the other one here, 17.0460s. Like I said, I was trying to get 17.0560s, and they would not fill me, so I just went ahead and had to trail that out. So right there at 9:23 on the Russell, so right in through here. Just 2 minutes after, I went ahead and picked up that Nasdaq position, saw the bottoming tail in here, and got in right there at 94.30s, right over top of the signal bar here in the Russell. So I figured it was a good spot. It kept my risk reward to be about the same as if I had gotten in back here at 9:55. So that's what led to the trades. All in all, I have to just say it was, for the most part, the divergence indicator. I simply just kind of followed the signals and then found myself an entry into the markets and combined that with the earnings for Google to kind of take advantage of that. So anyways, that's what led to the nice day here. And going into the rest of the week, I'm still looking and anticipating higher in the markets. So I'm going to go ahead and try and put this video together and get it out to you guys on YouTube this evening. And hopefully you guys are able to watch and see what happens for the rest of this week. But I am bullish. I'm going to hold likely half of these calls over the course of this week, because we do have some other earnings coming up. And if those earnings are going to be good, I want to take advantage of that and keep this position on and kind of ride it out. I think we might be able to trade 7,500s here in the NASDAQ futures, which is what I'm trading right here, where I have the QQQs on, which is the equivalent there. And you can see the move here on, 1 hour chart. And let me go ahead and maximize this sell so it's a little bit bigger. 74.36 is prior highs here. If we can get through 74.36s, realistically, the level I'm watching here is going to be 74.2775. And once we get through that level, I'll go ahead and mark it up right here. 74.27 1/4. Sorry. Once we get through that level, then I think we are good to go. I'm going to be paying close attention to that level tomorrow, and then I think 7,500 is going to be kind of our next stop, somewhere up in there for this week. I think we got it happening. So anyways, that's what I got for you guys in this breakdown video for YouTube. If you want to learn more about the divergence indicator, it is my favorite indicator. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but it is what leads me to get in these trades and allows me to put up the types of profits that you guys see. So click the description, or click the link in the description below. As always, give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let me know what you guys want to see. I will put up more live trading videos once I'm back at the desk. Still currently out of the office here, but having fun trading this market and excited to get back for earnings season coming up. Anyways, take care, and I'll see you guys on the next video.